Hello, hello. It is Sarah Waggle, astrologer and leadership coach here for this Moon Astrology Tarot, this time for the moon in Gemini, sun finishing up in Aquarius. Yes, this is my birthday weekend. Your girl is turning 45. Holy shit. And I will tell you, like, I feel damn good to be in my 40s and be in the place that I'm in now. Like, if you'd have told me in my 20s that I would have felt this good about life in my 40s, I probably would have laughed in your face. Okay, so the moon is entering Gemini at 1-ish in the afternoon on the 16th, which I believe is Friday, and will be there until about 9-ish, 10-ish on the 18th. So um I wanted to have a little fun with this because I'm a nerd and I'm an Aquarius, and this is an air moon with an air sun, and why not? So let me do something here. Y'all won't see a difference. I'll hear a difference in my. Okay. All right. So 1:30 p.m. on the 16th, the moon enters Gemini at At 2:01 in the afternoon, the moon will trine Venus at 0 degrees Aquarius. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the moon will trine Pluto at 0 degrees Aquarius. At 6:55 p.m. on the 16th, the moon will trine Mars in Aquarius. I don't remember which degree, to be honest. And then nothing happens again. I mean, there's other stuff, but the moon will then trine on the 18th at 5:20 a.m. These are all Central Time, by the way. It will trine Mercury in Aquarius. And then at 9:20 that night, it will trine the sun. Now, why is this important? Well, this is a little selfish because this is important because the moon trine the sun is exact on my solar return, like to the minute. And I'm talking geometric minutes. So when we measure astrology, we have 0 to 29 degrees of a sign, and then we have 0 to 59 minutes of each degree. And so the sun will be at 29 to 57, and the moon will trine the sun. And I think that's pretty freaking spectacular. Actually, I have a really good solar return chart. So, and if you're any kind of an astrology genius, you've already looked it up and figured out what's going to be happening, but you also don't know all my planet placements. So there's that. Newsflash, you should actually not give away your astrology chart unless it is somebody that you trust, because there are magicians all over the place. And so even with some of my closest astrology friends, we don't 100% share our charts. And so, but if you are in a contract commitment with an astrologer or a coach or, support person or whatever, then obviously, but, anyway, so, but just publicly, like, yeah, don't share your chart. Okay, so what does this mean, all of these trines? So we went from the moon in Taurus, which was squaring all of the stuff in Aquarius. Now we're going to have a trine. Trines are supportive, they're harmonious, they're between elements. So we have the air of Aquarius and the air of Gemini. It's a harmonious transit. It also means we could be space cadet-ish, flaky. We could also be very creative, intuitive. You could be very intellectual. You could overthink the fuck out of shit. You could be very confused. You could be very you could almost be very what's the term I'm looking for here? Uh double-minded. What's like two-faced? I don't want to say two-faced, but like maybe that's the right thing. Because Gemini is twos, right? It's twins, it's pairs, it's but it's also communication and things like that. And so an Aquarius is intellectualizing everything. Now, let's also keep in mind that Aquarius is about the people. I really want you to keep that in mind throughout the not only from this Aquarius season and everything that has come out during this Aquarius season. But while we have this Pluto in Aquarius, particularly from now through September, I want you to remember that Aquarius is about the people and the people taking a stand for the people. Okay. There's some terms we use in coaching about healing work is like going to the bathroom. Nobody can go take a pee or take a poop for you. No one can heal for you, right? Nobody can eat for you, those sorts of things. And so humanity has to sort of come to the realization that humanity has to save itself. And so if there is something that is kind of urging you to do something about it, do something about it. Do something about it. Because we obviously are in a state of, I want to be careful with my words here, because I don't want to use words like state of disarray or state of chaos, because that would be feeding into the fear-mongering agenda. And I don't want that. But the reality is people are really feeling like they're on the struggle bus, and people are really feeling like they maybe aren't getting fair treatment, or like fair opportunities, right? And what can we as a society do about it? If you're familiar with your Constitution, which I highly recommend, there is a Constitution app you can download, at least for your iPhone. I don't know about Android, but there is a Constitution app. And I would also like to remind you that the last time Pluto was in Aquarius was the French Civil War and the United States Revolutionary War. And that we as people, as humans, supporting each other, standing together in revolution. I don't know. I don't know which word it is, so pardon me. We have the option to stand together and help each other out. Here's the issue. A lot of people don't want to ask for help. A lot of people are so goddamn determined to do life themselves and hyper independently. And what happens when you have a generation of parents, particularly moms, because many of us were raised in the divorced single mom generation. When you have single moms raising kids, as single moms become hyper independent, now you've got a bunch of kids who were latchkey kids, or like, you know, whatever we were labeled or called now, but we were kind of traumatized by it, and we didn't know it at the time. We thought it like toughened us up, but maybe it actually was to our detriment, and now we're kind of healing. But now we're seeing that like living hyper independent or ultra independent is not healthy, and asking for help is healthy. So I don't know where I was really going with that, to be honest with you, other than to say that we can support each other, we can help each other, we can be there for each other, and that this particular weekend may be a weekend of you getting intuitive nudge. In fact, this week through the following week, through the end of this month, I feel like, because we have some pretty interesting transits coming up the first part of Pisces season. But as we move through the end of this Aquarius season and put the exclamation point on it, I think it's going to be interesting to see how humanity responds to what's going on. And you can get pissed, you can be angry. I've been going through some anger, I'll be honest. I've been moving through some anger. A lot of that is because I'm writing my book, and to write a book at the caliber that I'm writing the book, emotions needed to come in, up and out. And I needed to, you know, heal and transmute some more stuff. And so I've been moving through my own stuff over here. And that's okay, right? As long as you are emotionally responsible and intelligent enough to not let your anger be projected on the rest of the world, 'cause it's not their fault. It's not your fault either, but it is a thing that you have to, you know, take care of. So I don't know where I was really going with any of this. I'm kind of just sifting through thoughts, and I feel like that's kind of the whole thing with this Gemini Aquarius situation, is that we may just be like streaming thoughts. And the, perhaps a practice for this moon in Gemini could be just doing some like morning pages style writing where you just stream consciousness writing. If you're familiar with, oh, really, I'm going to forget it in this moment. The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. One of the practices that she talks about in The Artist's Way is morning pages, where you literally wake up and you sit down and write for three pages. And it's just a stream of consciousness. It's not cohesive. It's not coherent. It's certainly not grammatically correct for all of you grammar Nazis, myself included out there, by the way. I want to go down a tangent on that, and I'm trying not to do tangents. But perhaps this is that moment to not worry about the grammar and not worry about I used to, when I first started journaling on my current computer system, which was in 2019, I used to turn my speech synthesizer off, and I would turn my Zoom off so that I couldn't pay attention visually or auditorily to what I was writing, so that I wouldn't criticize my own grammar. So I wouldn't worry about misspellings or whatever. I would just type, and whatever came out was what came out. And yeah, I could go back and read those journals, and they probably look really awful for someone who calls herself an author. But that's kind of my point here, is that maybe it's time to get some of the blurbity blurb out of your system, because building in this weekend, as we get closer to the 19th, will be the Chiron conjunct the North Node in Aries. And that can be very empowering and healing and therapeutic. But are you ready for it? Have you prepared yourself for it? By that I mean, are you ready to release what needs to be released, healed, transmuted, transformed, and all of the things, right? Or are you still holding on to all of the bitter emotions around something, whatever that something is for you? Are you still just pissed about it? And believe me, it's okay to be pissed, but what I'm saying is find ways of releasing the being pissed off, or you're going to be pissed off for the rest of your life. And that's fine. If that's your choice, that is fine. I'm not here to tell you, your choice. But I would gather, if you're watching my content, that you're working through your shit, and that you really feel like you could make things better or smoother, or from a higher emotional state in your life, right? So, anywho, all right, let's see what's going on with the tarot. Got the Star Trek Next Gen Tarot. I will be releasing the Virgo full moon. I can't believe we're at the Virgo full moon. Damn. But it is the 24th. I will be getting that out hopefully soon. I'm recording this on Wednesday, the 14th. And I'm hoping to get the Virgo full moon uploaded by the 15th, because I want to get it done before my birthday. I do not have any major plans. I'm not really like a partier. I used to in my 20s, but I haven't really been a partier. I'll probably just do some like celebrating with my family and stuff like that, my mom and my brothers, and things like that. Maybe get together with my dad. I don't know. Depends on if he calls me, to be honest. And that's usually how that relationship rolls, and that's okay. So anyway, I don't have any major plans. But yeah, so 29-degree Aquarius, I feel like it makes me the most potent motherfucking Aquarius with a Scorpio moon and a Scorpio rising, and ah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, right? Let's see what's up with this tarot. Bring my camera over here. So your iOS has a built-in magnifier, and that's what I use for the tarot. We have, oh, really? The Star in reverse. Wesley Crusher in reverse. I feel like you could feel like you're very dimmed out right now and you're very perhaps preparing uh for whatever's next for you. Um, I feel like you're feeling dimmed out, and that's okay because the sun's a detriment, right? The sun's in Aquarius. It's in its opposite from its home position. And so it very likely could be that you're feeling at detriment, you're feeling at detriment. You're feeling like you don't have the energy that you have that you would like to have. And that's okay. We're still in the middle of winter. Although thankfully it's more than half over. We only have a few more weeks of it. But because we're getting the Star in reverse, like I feel like people are feeling like they're maybe losing hope, maybe losing their sparkle. And I would really this is why I would really invite you to do the journaling, do the conscious writing, just the conscious stream of writing, to really have yourself move through whatever's coming up and out, because y'all, there is just a lot going on in the world right now. Okay, we've had everything that used to be going on in Capricorn, which was an earth sign, which was system structures, traditions, and all those things, now has moved into Aquarius, which is like the polar, almost the polar opposite. It is not, of course, on the zodiac, but the energy signature is very different. Aquarius is authentic. Aquarius, I mean, Aquarius is in constant disruption. Maybe not constant disruption. I mean, because it is a stubborn fixed air sign, but we went from a workhorse of a cardinal earth sign to a fixed air sign, and it's more it's more mental, and it's more intellectual and critical thinking. That was one of the things I wanted to mention in this, was using critical thinking. Like really think through, whatever may be coming up, whether it's in your personal life, geopolitically, going on with the supply chains, going on with the earth, like all of these things. Like I could sit here and tell you all of this research and stuff that I have, rabbit holes I've fallen down all of these years, but that's not really what I want, because I invite you to do that, you to do the research, you to fall down the rabbit holes and find your truth in all of the potential illusions that are going on. So use your critical thinking. Take the time to actually do your own homework. But I feel like because the energy has so drastically shifted incredibly quickly, which I knew it would, because you don't go from Capricorn to Aquarius without a dramatic shift in energy. It just doesn't happen. And I also feel like a lot of Aquarians don't get along with a lot of Capricorns because of that, because our energy signatures, our archetypal signatures are so different. And so, we now have like this rebellious, for the people type energy versus the system structures and climb the corporate ladder type energy that we had going on for the last 15 years. And so the focus has shifted from, the save the corporations to the people saving themselves. That is a drastic shift. It's a really big change in the energy. And so if you're feeling like your star, your sparkle is dimmed, it's okay. And take on some practices that can actually help you in redefining your sparkle, having a glow up. Glitter, having something glittery happen. Maybe you just need to use some sparkle and glitter, whether that's in your makeup. I used to put glitter in my sunscreen when I was doing triathlons, and everybody thought it was the coolest friggin' thing. It was such a mess, but it was so much fun. Um, anyway, so that's the Star card in reverse. Let's see what's going on with these essential oils. Definitely get some grounding going on. This is a lot of intellectual headspace energy, and we really want to make sure that we're feeling through the rest of our body. Make sure that you're feeling through your gut. Make sure you're having regular bowel movements. Make sure that you are able to sit properly or comfortably. check in with yourself in all of the ways. Open up your chest. I've been talking to people a lot about opening up their heart space lately, because so many of us sit like this all hunched over looking at our phones, just as guilty. Like, I'm certainly not calling anybody out that I wouldn't call myself out. Like, I always laugh at myself when I say these things because half of it's about me. Anyway, let's see what's up with these oils. Yeah. I just got a new one from doTERRA the other day. I don't even remember what it was called, but it was like, what did it say? A forest bathing blend. And I brewed it, and it is like a vegan, it's one of the nicest foresty blends. And I love Midnight Forest, don't get me wrong. But this one that I got, it's got something sweet in it. I have to look at the ingredients as compared to Midnight Forest, but anyway. And I also had some tea that was called Abundance Tea that was like passion fruit. I didn't think I would like it because I typically don't like passion fruit and stuff like that, but I was surprised that I can't wait to order my next batch of tea. All right, let's see what's going on with these oils. We have, right side up would be good. Roman chamomile. Okay, promotes calmness and peace. Okay, I'm not a huge fan of Roman chamomile. It's florally, it's perfumey. It's just not my favorite, but it is good quality fragrance for calming and whatnot. Lavender is also good. Some of the mint fragrances like peppermint, spearmint are also good for calming. Again, back to like the Colpaiba, which would be a good one. I often use Colpaiba around Gemini because it kind of just calms down my squirrel brain. But this is definitely a good one. Again, I'm just not a fan of chamomile. That's all. I'm not hating on it. I get the benefits of it. It's just not my favorite. But anyway, so chamomile is not your favorite if you're not a fan of, but obviously chamomile teas, chamomile lavender teas, things that will calm you down. Guys, our nervous systems are in like freaking hyper overdrive. So whatever we can do to calm our body. I was just talking to a friend the other day who said if she's in the middle of a panic attack, like breathing doesn't work for her. She has to learn how to breathe when she's not in anxiety mode, because her body just doesn't know how to like use breathing to calm down. It actually sends it further into hyper overdrive. So I said the Taurus moon was going to be the most ungrounded Earth moon, but now we're dealing with two airs, lots of air energy. So very much the same thing. Do the things that you need to do to support your freaking nervous system. It's not a joke. It's not a bypass. It's almost not optional. If you want to be able to stay in the game and not freak out about life right now, you have to be responsible for your nervous system and taking care of it and listening to your body and responding accordingly. If you are hungry, go eat something. Please eat something with high protein, preferably. I'm not a nutritionist, but high protein tends to give you more energy for a more sustainable amount of time. If you are thirsty, drink water or drink something like lemon lime, not, like lemonade or something like that, that may have more hydration. What are they called? Electrolytes. There we go. Things like that. Stay away from lots of high sugary things or like high processed things, color dyes and things like that. I'm not an expert on any of this crap, but what I'm telling you is pay attention to your body and how your body responds when you eat different things or consume different things. If, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I think you know what I'm saying. But my point is as we're moving through all this, because this is all building up to the solar eclipse on April 8th, and the Jupiter Uranus conjunction on 420. So we're far from done with this. Okay, I have long-winded this enough. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you. I love you, and I will see you on the next video.